Boo, if you are feeling overlooked or not receiving what you believe you should be receiving from your job, from your SP, from your family, from your clients, yes, it is commonly understood that the number one missing piece is gratitude, that we tend to feel less than or undeserving or overlooked, neglected, when we are not experiencing gratitude for the big things, yes, that we're alive and awake and that we're out under a beautiful sky or whatever is given to us. And it's a very important aspect, no question. It is totally fundamental to changing how you feel about yourself. But there is more to that picture. There is something else. And if you are believing that you are receiving less, it is never, and I repeat, never, 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 never caused by any external person or persons or circumstances or conditions from out there in yonder. It just isn't. And that is because it is due to what you have been denying yourself or what you have been hiding from about yourself. The inner always dictates, controls, and manifests the external experience every single time, no exceptions. And as the esoteric teachings say, as within, so without. As within, so without. What we are feeling and believing about ourselves from within, inside of our consciousness, and in what our subconscious mind is holding, because the subconscious mind is like a blank slate that will hold whatever you in your imagination are inscribing on it. Okay, it's like one of those boards that you write on. You change something about it, it's gone, then you put something else there, but it's going to hold that and bring it about to verify and justify the belief that you have about yourself. And this, of course, is a negative or a false belief. It is the story you are telling yourself. It's the part of your ego that is telling you a false story, that is, in a sense, is scamming you about yourself. And you want more and better, and you're wondering why it's just not showing up for you. And you're probably practicing all kinds of techniques to manifest the thing you're saying you want. But if the feeling behind it, you can want something, but if underneath that you're feeling like you're not deserving or worthy, or there are fears about what someone close to you might feel, it could be that you're concerned about what your SP is going to think if you suddenly have a lot that you have manifested in a positive way, that it's been an incredible manifestation, but fears come up. Is having this thing going to send me away from them? Or are they going to be upset that suddenly I've gotten more than they've got? And it could be friends, it could be your family members, it could be anybody that you suddenly wonder if you're going to lose them because you are coming into this greater thing. So we're talking about it, about having it, about wanting it, but our innermost beliefs are saying otherwise. And it can lead us to those meh feelings when opportunities do arise, that we're less than excited about them because of those feelings, those secret feelings we don't want to admit to. And stick with me here, because I know this can be an uncomfortable thing, but stick with me and you'll see where this can actually take you beyond what you may be thinking. And it's in a way that you will find is going to give you more that you do deserve. So it's the idea of, what the Bible talks about, hiding your light under a bushel. It's kind of being in the dark, being in obscurity, in a sense, in keeping yourself away from the possibilities of really having more, being greater, being fully and authentically yourself. And a lot of times when we drop the mask of not giving ourselves enough, of not being really open to it, that our authentic self has this tremendous power. It's at a much higher frequency, a much higher scale. And that can be incredibly, the power behind that can kind of be surprising. It's discovering what your gifts really are, that maybe were always there, but you had never wanted to expose before. And look at this. If you play with the letters, the word talent, Talent, and the word latent, which is kind of slowly developing, Latent, those have the same letters. So within that latent state of being that you had been inhabiting is this immense talent. And sometimes you discover that you have a talent you didn't even know you had, or a whole new skill set comes out when you allow that to blossom for you. And if that's ever been you, that you've discovered that, but then weren't sure where to go with it or what you wanted with it, drop that in the comments. Drop talent in the comments, and let me know if this has been your experience. Because we all, and I've had that too, a fear of being exposed, of being someone who had a hard time speaking to a group. And then later I taught yoga for many years, and Pilates and fitness in front of a class. I had to be able to talk and demonstrate and juggle. Believe me, when I first started doing it, I was petrified. So it's like 20 odd years ago. But over time, and with more training, it evolved to where I was incredibly comfortable with it and had a good time, and could, and the group had a good time, and we could go, and I could work with each person as they required and needed. But if this kind of thing, this is why I'm saying this, because originally I was completely the opposite. There was no way I wanted to ever be having to be in front of a group of people talking, let alone demonstrating anything. And it's that understanding that I was deserving of having that. And this is a very important thing, is to not hide your light. It's to not hide your light under a bushel, but to be willing to stand in your own light, that you deserve to be in that spotlight. And it's something that's even greater, say, than, a little post that we do. Those are great, they're fun, and they're wonderful. But understand that's that part of you that says, I'm ready to step up. I'm ready to claim more for myself. And this is about stepping into your larger self. And the more you stand in your inner authority, your inner sense of self, that you can receive more. And one of the ways to start to feel that is when someone else that you know, could be a coworker or someone in school with you, that you can be happy and enthusiastic for someone else's good fortune, for their positive abundance. And if you can feel that for someone, say you worked hard but you didn't get a raise, and someone you know at work did get a raise, or they got a promotion. Now you could feel that you were overlooked for the promotion or overlooked for the salary increase. However, stay with me here. However, rather than feeling resentment, it's very easy to fall into that resentment or jealousy or the feeling of lack, which is behind all that, and the feeling of fear behind all that, is the feeling of, if you can become happy for them, you expand your own aura of happiness and deservingness, your own state of that. And it's really focusing there. And I think too, this is why I talked about not bothering with New Year's resolutions in my previous video, but it's about, one of the reasons that we may drop New Year's resolutions is because we don't feel actually deserving of what we want from them. And that has a lot to do with it, is feeling less than deserving of being the one who drops the weight or goes to the gym or whatever else that it is that you want to do, or start running, or any other thing that you want to achieve. It is a lot easier to hide. I totally understand. And it's getting past that. And that's a big hump to overcome. But yes, you have it in you, because if you let go of the resistance that causes the meh feeling and the dropping out, and use that happiness. It's a practice from Eastern wisdom and Buddhism. It's called mudita, M-U-D-I-T-A. And mudita is having a spontaneous happiness for someone else's good fortune. And I mentioned it as positive abundance. And there is a distinction. In Eastern philosophy, they will say positive fortune or positive abundance, because abundance is a lot of something, but it's a neutral thing. So it can be either positive and bring happiness and joy, or it can be an abundance of troubles and problems, abundance of debt and abundance of lack. Oddly, you can have a lot of lack. It's endless. But that's why it's important to emphasize, what is it you really are wanting? Do you want an abundance of lack? Or do you want an abundance of great stuff in whatever form it is coming to you? So put some physical energy into seeing and feeling yourself deserving. Deserving is like serving yourself a big portion of deservingness and worthiness. It's coming from your state of having worth, of recognizing your own worth. Bashar has talked about, people will say to him, well, what am I here? What's my purpose? He'll say, well, you already have made an impact. Everyone makes an impact. But what are you going to do with it? And I agree with that. You have to understand what is it behind everything you want? What is behind it? What is the ultimate that you can want? And not feeling that it's going to be a problem or selfish or is going to put other people off by having it. It's meant for you. It's meant for you, and whatever comes with it that levels you into the next place. It levels you up for that. And putting some of that physical energy into it, into seeing and feeling yourself deserving. And that is what Neville has meant by, living in that state, going to sleep in that state, walking in the state. He used to say it that way, walking in the state of the person whose wish is already fulfilled. And, it might change. In fact, it might actually change how you walk. Instead of maybe you were walking like this, staring down into your phone, but instead, you're walking like this. And if you look at your phone, you're bringing your phone. When I catch myself slouching into my phone, I immediately stop and I lengthen, and I say, oh, that feels so good. And then I'm really looking into my phone. And this is important, or maybe I stop looking into my phone and I start looking around. You have to remember there isn't something around you, and that's from you. Whether it's in your phone or external to you, it's all you. It is all you pushed out, as Neville famously said. It's all you pushed out, nobody else. It's a reflection of you. So why not go for the biggest and grandest and most powerful that you can be, sincerely, to do that sincerely, to give that to yourself. Maybe it is walking around swinging your arms more, or dancing around the house, not thinking about anything else. And this is as within, so without. It's going to be reflected in people looking at you and smiling, or gifting you something, or that you do get that promotion, you do get that raise. But not to worry about when, above all, or who it's coming from or where it's coming from. And that's another part of this equation, is trust. Leaving it up to God. As within, so without. Whatever you are perceiving is how you are receiving. It's an original of mine. Whatever you are perceiving is how you are receiving. And in my previous video, I talked about allowing your old state, your old self, to keep draining your energy, to vampire your energy. And expanding in this way, and how you feel and how you move and what you're seeing is part of changing that. And I had seen a video a short while ago where a woman was discussing what she had been told by Carl Jung, the eminent psychiatrist. And the woman asked Dr. Jung, why are people so mean to me? And he immediately shot back at her, why are you so mean? And man, that had an impact. And she understood that she was the one withholding. She was that it was coming from her. In order for her to feel that vibe was coming to her, it had to come from her. As within, so without. You're getting back what you are putting out. So it's, if you're withholding from yourself, and you're scrounging instead of welcoming joy and love and happiness and health and wealth. So yes, gratitude is a tremendous first step. And however, beyond that is recognizing that whatever arises in your experience was brought to you to reflect you in some way, or to push you to move, to see differently or act differently or just be different. And that new reality, so you are ultimately, when these good things do happen, that you are ultimately thanking yourself. My Father and I are one, and my Father is greater. And that is also said as, I am part of God, and God is all of me. And it's the one in the one consciousness. Thank you so much for watching. Love you so much, Boo. I'll see you in the next video.